Alrighty guys, we're back for some Abzan enchantments, and this is a Dominaria United Standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? We got a couple Candletraps, 3 Clawing Torments, and 4 Okiba Reckoner Raids at the front of the build. I think it's going to be important to have 1-drop enchantments in a deck like this, and all of these are pretty decent. Candletrap and Clawing Torment might lean towards the janky side, but I think we'll be surprised by how much they do today, if we see them, of course. We got 2 Circle of Confinements for early removal, pretty powerful card. The bottom ability here might actually come into play too, where whenever an opponent casts a vampire spell with the same name as the card exiled with Circle, you gain 2 life. There's actually a lot of vampires being played right now, so that might actually come in handy. Got 3 Michiko's Reign of Truth for the first 2 chapters. It can help us close up games, or gain a bunch of life if we slap that onto a card with a lifelink like Jukai Naturalist, which of course we have 4 of them in here. We got 4 Kami of Transience too, just a very powerful creature, especially in a deck that loves to slap enchantments on the board. I would argue it's the best creature in the deck, but it's probably Jukai Naturalist. Let's be real, making all of our enchantments cost 1 less is very powerful. We got 4 Borrowed Times, amazing removal for 3 mana. Being able to exile target non-land permanent is very powerful, but if you have that Naturalist on the board, making Borrowed Time cost less is huge. Got 4 Wedding Announcements. It's very powerful, helps us go wide, and eventually buffs our entire board state. Getting multiple on the of these on the board is just super dangerous for the opponent. There's a reason we're seeing people main board Destroy Evil, right? And that is because Wedding Announcement is everywhere because it's very powerful. Got 3 Curse of Leeches here. This is a 3 mana aura where you enchant a player, and at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. But then it's daybound and nightbound, so when it's nighttime, it comes out as the Leeching Lurker, which is a 4/4 lifelink, which is actually pretty good. Like overall, every time I've played with Curse of Leeches, I've always been pleasantly surprised, and it always works best in decks that care about playing enchantments. So here it is, right? Got a single Tatsunari Toad Rider here. And when you cast an enchantment spell, you create the legendary frog over there. And the legendary frog has, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So there's a ton of life gain going on in the deck. There's a ton of ways to just kind of ping your opponent's face for 1 damage here and there. And we're going to be putting pressure on pretty early on, guys. There's also a bottom ability here for 1 and a green in this deck, where Toad Rider and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn, except by creatures with flying or reach. And that comes in handy more than you would expect as well. So I think it's definitely going to be worth having 1 of these in here. On the very top end of the build, we have 4 Hallowed Haunting. We have so many enchantments packed in here, and so many cheap enchantments at that we can just kind of slam them all onto the board, get a bunch of Spirit Clerics, and be pretty happy about it. I also don't think it's going to be too hard to get that top ability where, as long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance, and that just literally ends the game right then and there, honestly. So yeah, I think we're gonna easily be able to flood the board with spirits here. Okay, guys, the mana base. Well, we're rocking the Huinders, the Abandoned Mire, and the Seat of the Empire, as well as a jumbled mess of dual lands that I hope will work for this deck. I did take time to think about it. Risky card to play, guys. Thran Portal in this deck. I think we have enough life gain to actually be okay with the Thran Portal. I do, and I think there's going to be plenty of moments where we want to see the Thran Portal over something like those extra Deathcap Glades, for example. So we'll see if the mana base ends up working out, huh? Okay, honorable mentions, guys. Commune with Spirits is a pretty good card and helps you find like the removal when you need it, like grab a Borrowed Time. And if you don't see anything, grabbing a land is pretty good. Since this is a 3-color deck, I don't know. We'll see. I opted for less green. See, we really are only splashing green for the Kami of Transience and the Naturalist, and I do think the mana base is going to hold up, but yeah, we'll see. No generous visitor this time round, guys. Just pure one-drop enchantments up there, and visitors very powerful and one of the reasons to play Selesnya enchantments. So we'll see, we'll see. Tamiyo safekeeping is pretty good as well, and Life of Toshiro always surprises me. I might be the last person alive playing with Life of Toshiro, but that's because every time I play with it, it puts in so much work, and I'll be playing with it more in the future. I couldn't find room for it in this particular deck, though. Alright, guys, hopefully I went over the deck well enough. It's a really simple one, and we see a lot of these cards very often, so let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first match. Let's go, guys. I gotta say, I'm a little worried. I'm overdue for some losses here. Okay, Thran Portal gets us green. Yeah, this is fine. The pain lands might hurt a little bit. Opponent goes first too. This is scary actually. Okay, it's not mono red. That's, I guess, good. We'll start with the caves, and then go Thran Portal on green next turn. And maybe Kami of Transience before Naturalist with this particular hand. We take less damage with that too. This is just 1 damage. So a missionary, huh? Okay, yep, we're just gonna take the 2, they're gonna gain 2, and oh, they're gonna keep 3 open. Okay, well that's gotta be removal then, right? Spot removal or something along those lines. We go Shattered Sanctum. We only take 1 damage for Toad Rider, which could be good. Wedding Announcement is excellent here too, and we would want to do that before combat to get a 3 swing. I think it's Wedding Announcement, and even though Toad Rider, like, we don't get a Toad, I think like getting these 1/1s on the board is going to be a little bit more valuable. And we're going to attempt to swing because it feels like removal anyway. So if we keep this open, they just remove it at the end. Destroy evil. Well, I can't say I'm shocked by that, so. Shieldred. Get out of here, Shieldred. I don't have removal for you yet. Just wait. Can you chill in the opponent's hand for a second? We have? Okay. Okay, we need to deal with Shieldred as soon as possible. We have double black for the Raid and the Toad Rider, which we'd want to go Toad Rider first. Hopefully... Ooh. Careful with the auto tapper, guys. I guess we're going to be taking damage here regardless. Let's get the Toad down. We're taking another damage, but we gain 1 back from the Okiba Reckoner raid, so get a Froggy onto the board. We could save blockers, but like, I guess getting Naturalist down could have been good too, so we could start gaining the life back sooner. Ooh, I just had some big time lag. So no swing, that would be an easy block for the opponent, but yeah, that lag was crazy. Hopefully that doesn't continue. Obscura. Okay, there's no blue in the deck. Sarah Paragon. Oh, buddy, this deck looks gross. Hey, borrowed time. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll resolve that. We'll drop the caves. We can go Naturalist, borrowed time. 10. Luckily, we're getting some life gain here. And I guess borrowed time takes Shieldred because that's the biggest threat, maybe? Sarah Paragon's a problem too now, but let's get Naturalist down. This frog gains us a good chunk of life too. And the Reign of Truth can get a pretty good swing. If we're gonna play everything, it's gonna hurt. But maybe it'll be worth it. If we want to swing, of course. So I guess we take Shieldred because it's a bit of a problem. And then Reign of Truth, we're going to gain another. We lose one from the pain. And then we swing? Question mark, maybe? A double block into Kami of Transience would be interesting, to say the least. I think we're going to get some good damage through here. Too bad the Naturalist can't attack. Actually, there was a lot of options here, huh, guys? Okay, they are going to replay the Missionary from the grave, I suppose. Pretty good swing, pretty great turn. We were able to play everything out, which was pretty insane. We get to see the legendary frog putting in some serious work here. Okay, recast it, get evolved, sleeper down. So this looks like it's clerics then, right? Not just like Orzhov good stuff. It looks like clerics. So I suppose we go on to Naturalist to gain life back. It's a little scary because whatever it goes on to, there could be spot removal remaining in the opponent's hand. Yeah, GG opponent. Oh, man. That was pretty gross, guys. We had a lot of options available to us. View the battlefield again here. So Candletrap, we even had enough mana to go ahead and use the Coven ability because we did have 3 different powers on the board, so we could have attached it to Sarah Paragon and used that Coven ability to exile enchanted creature. Yeah, that's pretty solid, dude. And if this last card wasn't removal for Naturalist, we were going to gain a bunch, and then Michiko is going to flip next turn too. If we took out the Paragon, we wouldn't have had enough mana to give our Toads leap, right? But either way, pretty cool. Nice. It's always great to win the first game of a video for sure, so I will take the victory. I don't see too many opponents playing like the Orzhov clerics, but we do see it every now and then. Maybe 1 out of every, I don't even know, like 40 games maybe, somewhere around there. Pretty rare to see, but it's pretty scary, dude. Those were pretty powerful cards. Okay, we'll keep this. We got to see how much life this deck actually gains, to the point where the Thran Portal doesn't really slow us down too much, or hurt us too much, I should say. The Abandoned Mire over the Thran Portal early on, just in case this is like mono white aggro, which could be a big problem. Ambitious Farmhand, so it's probably more so a mid-range build, but you never know. Okay, Thran Portal now, so it comes out untapped, I suppose. And let's go white. The deck is majority white, so Curse of Leeches early is good, and then we get a good swing. Let's do it. Do it before combat for the counter. Swing on in. Nice. And then every turn we'll get that life back for tapping the Thran Portal too, so I still think, I do think it's going to be worth the 2 Thran Portals. Being able to fix our mana in a deck like this is super important, so early wedding announcement. Is that worth the borrowed time? It might be. It might be, guys. Second Kami of Transience, and then just dropping Michiko's Reign of Truth, though. Getting counters. Yeah, this is better. Unless there's a board wipe coming, which would definitely suck. But a big swing. If they chump here, they're still taking 5. Yeah, so they're just going to take the 6. The Curse of Leeches hitting them every single turn. Okiba Reckoner Raid's going to hit him as well. Man, these decks are always so fun. We've been, like, dabbling with this style of enchantment for a pretty long while, honestly, and every time we play them, it's always so much fun to play. I've been choosing pretty fun decks to play recently. I'm always pretty satisfied. A bunch of chump blockers. Kami of Transience is just disgusting against chump blockers. Let's put it on this one. And balance it out a little bit here. Get the Reckoner Raid down, get extra counters on everything. And Borrowed Time probably hits Farmhand. Hitting the Wedding Announcement's so good. It depends where they end up blocking here. We only have 5 creatures. We have 11 power. They block with all 4, which means they... Oh, yeah. We take a creature. For sure. Because the Kami of Transience is getting the extra counters. Which means the trample just kills them here. And even if it didn't, they were still going to lose another life from the Curse of Leeches too. That's crazy, dude. Oh, man. That's pretty gross. That's pretty gross. GG opponent. I'm glad we didn't take the wedding announcement early on there. Instead, we opted for more aggro, which I think was definitely the way to go there, because I think maybe a board wipe would have been the best thing that the opponent could have done on turn 4, but then, yeah, they had creatures to lose there too, so... Very cool first matches. I'm still overdue for some losses here. I'm just, like, waiting for the game to humble me at some point, because right now in ranked, my win rate is pretty gross. Like, it is probably the highest win rate I've ever had in ranked, and I'm just waiting, man. I'm waiting for the game to teach me a lesson, I guess. Now, this isn't the best hand, but it's also not terrible. We can, like, get the Reign of Truth down for early creatures as soon as possible, which is fine. Like, Reign of Truth doesn't need a target as long as we get something onto the board. Ooh, but up against control, this is very slow. Well, we might as well run this down, because a counter spell on a Reign of Truth that isn't hitting anything for a couple turns, it's probably good for us, right? Like, if they countered that, that would just be good for us. Ooh, Grixis. Okay, another Borrowed Time. Whew! Well, I guess Thran Portal this turn. And let's go... We got everything we need out there. Seat of the Empire is another white source, though. I think... I don't know. I guess the more white sources, the better. And Borrowed Time doesn't have any targets, and I don't think we drop Reign of Truth. Like, now we save it back and try to get Hallowed Haunting down as soon as possible. Like, on their turn 3, I'm shocked Fable of the Mirrorbreaker didn't drop. Borrowed Time would have had a token to target. But keeping 4 open and passing, man. Hey, like, no Sorin? You don't even want to drop Sorin? You can. Get a little vampire? Okay, there's a vampire. Not the vampire I was thinking, but this is great because now they only have 1 mana open, which means unless it's a Spell Pierce, the Hallowed Haunting is going to hit the board here, which is very powerful. If it is a Spell Pierce, good for the opponent, man, because we haven't seen too much Spell Pierce. Hey! Hallowed Haunting on the board. Alright. Now we get to have some fun, guys. We got Wedding Announcement and Clawing Torment next turn. Woo! Oh, it's a 0/4. Okay, that's still pretty good, though, because instant and sorcery spells, you cast cost one less to cast, so that could be pretty scary. I don't exactly know what the opponent's running. Grixis with a Haughty Djinn, so... I'm gonna start, so they have 2 open. We don't have extra for, like, a Make Disappear, so going Clawing Torment early, and let's put it on the Djinn. I don't know what the opponent's planning, but that Djinn could be pretty bad for us. Yeah, if we had the 2 open to play around a Make Disappear, then I would have started with Wedding Announcement and kept those 2 open. But I still think it's going to be Wedding Announcement over the double Borrowed Time, because against a Grixis build, they could have, like, a Toxrill on the top end or something really, really gross. So There's a negate. Oh, okay. So they could have... Okay, nice. So I think we'll swing here. I think we'll swing. I don't plan on blocking with the portrait into the Corpse Appraiser, and like their Haughty Djinn isn't that impressive right now anyways. Sheoldred, yeah, those borrowed times are gonna come in handy against this. They're keeping blockers back too. Okay, they only have one open, but it still could be a make disappear unfortunately. But we're gonna start with the borrowed time this time round. We gotta hit that Sheoldred, man. I think. Clawing Torment. Oh, auto tapper. Oops. Oopsie daisies. That's fine. we're okay, guys. We're okay. Maybe. I was gonna go Clawing Torment on the Appraiser, but they might block here. This is 10 damage. Yeah, so they're gonna block. So Clawing Torment makes it so that way they can't block, and they would have taken extra damage. Oh, nice, nice. The Vortex. Ooh, was that worth the swing? Probably. It probably was still worth the swing, huh? Yeah, careful with the auto tapper in this deck, guys. It doesn't want you to take damage from the Thran Portal, so I needed the extra black source open. Haughty Djinn can start swinging, but... Okay. Do we chump the 3? Maybe. I guess not. We'll take 5 here. 2. Still have 2 cards in hand, though. That's pretty scary. Pretty scary. We don't entirely know what cards we're playing around. Second Hallowed Haunting is pretty powerful, dude, but we don't know if it lands. Main board negate probably means they have more than one. Start with the Reckoner raid here. I think getting some life gain from this is going to go a long way, and we might... I don't know. So we're going to take a damage from the Thran Portal. I'd love to save the borrowed time. Like, Reign of Truth gets a pretty good swing here. Clawing Torment. Go Reign of Truth and see if it lands. I guess Clawing Torment first does get us an extra damage if the swing goes through. It could be another Rona's Vortex is the thing. And we don't exactly know what order to play things out because we're playing around counter spells too, so it's a little bit weird, but this is pretty good. Hallowed Haunting might carry this, but yeah, anything could happen here. Another Rona's Vortex. Yep, makes sense to me. They're taking 2 damage here. We have 9 damage on the board, but the Haughty Djinn could win him the game this turn. Oh, it's going to win him the game this turn, isn't it? Oh no, we're just 1 enchantment away from having flying too. Oh no, guys. I love the opponent's deck, though. It's not your traditional Grixis, which is pretty cool, honestly. I didn't entirely know what to play around. I think the Maestro's charm here is pretty cool, too. I'm surprised we don't see this more often in Grixis builds. It's actually pretty surprising. We're alive! No, we're not alive. No, they're gonna play something. Something's up. Something's up. We're dead. Play with fire. That'll do it. Okay, what could I have done there? There is definitely a better way to play that out, right? I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't blame the deck on this one. There was probably a better way to play it out, but even so, we didn't know exactly what to play around in the opponent's hand too, so maybe I did all right overall. There might have been a better way. If the second Rona's Vortex didn't exist, then we would have just straight up won the game there, which is kind of shows the power of these type of abilities, right? The Fading Hopes and the Rona's Vortex, like both very powerful cards. Being able to take out a 9/9 token with 1 mana happens to be pretty good. let's hop into another match, guys. We're making really good time. I'm very satisfied with how the deck is playing out. I guess it does seem to be one of those decks where a little bit of practice is required, where like the order of things really matter. Okay. And we only have 2 Thran Portals in here, but it is worth noting that it does feel like the game is kind of putting it in our hand intentionally. We'll see if that continues for the rest of this video. But if you are taking too much damage from it, then you might want to consider trading it out. But so far it's been okay. We did take a bit of damage from it in the last game, but like overall, it's fine. Gonna take a bit of damage from it this game as well. Okay, Fable, okay. We're probably gonna go, okay, let's see. Ooh, Jukai Naturalist. Pretty good. Candletrap's good too, giving this Defender. I wonder if they just end up blocking with it. I like that. Let's go. Kami of Transience. Candletrap. The Goblin Shaman. And they might just end up blocking with it, and then we can use the borrowed time on something more threatening. Pretty fun. Yeah, they do end up blocking with it, and that's fine, man. That's fine. We got these borrowed times for something else. A couple powerful Kami of Transience here. So it looks like a domain build, but it could be like a 5-color. Do they have max domain here? Yeah, they do. They have white, green, and then they have blue, red, black. Green Widow. Okay, it is going to be a domain build. I mean, I'd love to get that Naturalist on the board, but man, Fable's a problem. Maybe I should have borrowed time the Fable before they got to cycle. I think we just take that Green Widow, though. This is a huge swing for us. And we have a bunch of borrowed times, too, so if they do anything like play another creature expecting to block, then I guess they do get the reflection here, too, so I guess a mana would be pretty good off the top. An untapped land. Ooh, they're gonna keep 4 open, though. Alright, I mean, I'm still gonna play everything out, so Naturalist, buff, buff. It's gotta be removal. It's gotta be. 100% it's removal. I'm playing it all, though. Actually, it's probably that domain removal piece, which means they might have 2 in hand. Oh no, they might have 2 in hand. Take 1 Kami of Transience. Is it gonna be another? Yeah, Leyline Binding. I always forget the name of that. So you can hit the Binding. They might take the 6 here. I think hitting Reflection is better, but then if they take it, they get the Fable of the Mirror back. Ooh, what a decision, guys. I'm gonna take Reflection. And I guess the reasoning behind that is, like, they already took... Yeah, there's the second Leyline Binding. Do they want the... Okay. Eee, gross. Hitting both of our Kami of Transience is pretty huge for the opponent. So, ooh. I'll take as much mana. Like, the deck actually seems to want mana, huh? The 3rd borrowed time. Let's go ahead and hit one of those bindings, I guess. Get that back. We probably wanted to attack first, honestly, but it's fine. Everything's fine, guys. 3 borrowed times. Drag to the bottom! At least we get our Kami of Transience back, because one of them was an enchantment creature. That's good news. No double green, though. Gonna take some time here. I think we'll save the Reign of Truth for next turn. Yeah, this deck looks gross, dude. Yeah, Domain has looked pretty good. I'm surprised we don't see more Domain. They probably hit the... If they hit the borrowed time, they can Leyline Binding the Kami of Transience, but I feel like it makes more sense just to exile the Kami of Transience. because now we have the option to get rid of the binding again when it comes time. So Candletrap on return up to 1 other target non-land permanent. I guess we hold this all back, guys, because they're about to bounce. Oh, they're gonna bounce one of the borrowed times, maybe. This is gonna be a weird one, guys. I don't even know where to begin. We don't see this deck often, and like I said, I'm a little surprised, because look at how much power they could have. The drag to the bottom was perfect. Double leyline bindings was really good too. See, the Candletrap could be particularly powerful to stop the Dragon Spirit here. It could be particularly powerful. So maybe the Reign of Truth is the discard. I don't really like that. The Reign of Truth was going to help us end the game. There's more in the deck, though, and we might need the Candletrap. I'll tell you what, though. A second Kami War would probably just be a nail in the coffin. Okay, Green Widow. Ooh, okay, another mana. Now it's not good to see. Not when we, like, don't have a Hallowed Haunting and stuff to play. They've locked us down pretty well here. I can only imagine this is the opponent's. I'm going to save Candletrap for the Kami War here, because whenever it attacks, it starts to get pretty gross too. And it's a 6/6 flying with trample as well, so pretty dangerous card to keep around. Hopefully we don't draw mana. Pretty much anything other than that. Oh, use the Courier's Briefcase to draw. Oh, that is so powerful. Oh, man. Okay, let's hit that Candletrap on the Dragon Spirit, so that way we can survive an extra turn here. Curse of Leeches. This would have been great early on. Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine? It's been so many turns. Unfortunately, since this still has Defender, they still get to block with it. It doesn't do damage because of the Candletrap. Prevent all combat damage, but yeah, Kami of Transience can't get in, unfortunately. So we can survive long enough here. This still might be anyone's game, but I think the draw off the Briefcase, ah, man, that's... Ooh, Celestis. I love the opponent's deck, dude. You know what you don't usually see in these domain builds, too? You don't usually see Green Widow. Wow, Unleash the Inferno is huge, guys. Oh, let's go, opponent. Oh, that's so cool. I can't even be mad about that. Unleash the Inferno is one of my favorites. We'll give him Briefcase back, I guess. I don't know. We're super dead, guys. Unleash the Inferno is one of my favorites from New Capenna. So yeah, that was sick, opponent. That was awesome. Oh man. Oh, no double green for the Naturalist. Yeah, here's an example of the mana really holding us up. But maybe if I had more practice with the deck, I would have known. Let's give him drag to the bottom to play this on green, maybe. I don't know. It's possible. We'll block the 1/1. Oh, drop him the good game for sure. Wait. Favorite emote. That was sick, opponent. Yeah, Unleash the Inferno. That was epic. Now, hold on. They did have enough mana, too. Wait, not mana. Unleash the Inferno. It is, to be exact, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the amount of excess. Did they have 3 excess damage to just take care of one of the borrowed times? I guess the Candletrap was the best bet, though, so they could start attacking with this big old chunky boss monster. But yeah, I think they had enough to take out some of the borrowed times too. Very cool deck, opponent. We don't see domain enough, and I am shocked that we don't, because, whoo, buddy. Although for a moment there, I thought it was looking pretty good for us. I thought we were gonna close out that game pretty effectively, but yeah. I think one of the things about domain is, like, the leyline binding happens to be just an incredible piece of removal where it's pretty easy to get it down to 1 mana, and so just being able to gobble up whatever you want is huge. Okay, I think this is a keepable hand. I'm a little concerned about the whole double green nonsense from the last game, but I don't think that's gonna hold us back too much. Like, I think we're fine here. We might... No, we're probably going to start with Kami of Transience. That way Naturalist can buff him. But it depends what the opponent plays too. Mono white would be scary. But we do have tons of removal for mono white. Like, Circle of Confinement even hits an Adeline. That's pretty insane to think about. Like, mana value 3 or less is so many cards. Does look like it's going to be some mono white, so they went first too, so I hope our turn 2 actually survives and doesn't just get immediately gobbled up, but we'll see. Hope we'll initiate. Alright, Shattered Sanctum. So for less damage, we're going to drop the seat over the cave. Oh wait. Kami of Transience, we're not going to take damage from the cave anyways. Let's get the Kami of Transience onto the board, and then next turn we have Naturalist and Circle of Confinement, and we get to keep the seat as removal then. Nice. Yeah, pretty terrific hand, guys. I'm not going to trade this time. I think the Kami of Transience is very, very valuable in this matchup. Thalia, no! Thalia, get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, we can... Okay. We think about this. Because Naturalist brings it down. We could go Reckoner Raid then this turn. That's fine too. I would have loved to get the circle out, but... this is fine. Taking a damage, gaining a life. And getting the Kami of Transience into a good blocking, a good chunky blocker is probably going to be pretty important. Life gain on Naturalist is going to be important too. Cathar takes Kami of Transience, but Circle of Confinement takes Cathar. That's still pretty bad though. I'm going to take the 6. I think having the Naturalist on the board is more valuable than our life total right now. Okay, we could go second Naturalist. I think it's just going to be Circle of Confinement, get our Kami of Transience back. And then we'll go second Naturalist to buff the Kami of Transience to be able to block the Thalia. Do we gain 2, or do we plan on blocking? I think we gain 2, guys. I wasn't planning on attacking, but then the more I looked at this board state, I think the life gain on Naturalist was worth it there. We'll see. A second Brutal Cathar could be pretty bad. I think the opponent going first here is huge for them. Just how it ends up lining up, you know? Okay, Seat of the Empire could be a cool combat trick this turn. It's too bad we don't have any enchantment to play here, because the Adeline is terrifying. Did the Empire takes care of it, I guess. Yeah. Only cost 3 mana. I suppose we could get... I'm gonna hold it. Well, I'm gonna get Kami of Transience on the board. And I guess we hold back here. They're looking for removal, though, is the problem. But I think they still end up swinging next turn. And a full swing here, we can't protect all of them with just a seat. And the seat needs to be reserved for the Adeline, probably. So, I don't know, man. I think we need to see an enchantment off the top for this to be successful. Buff the Initiate. I think this might be worth a double block from us. The Initiate, and then we get to take out Adeline. We just don't know what's in their hands, so we got to be a little bit cautious. Little bit cautious here. So I guess we'll go to the blocking step, right? We'll block here. They take out one Kami of Transience. It could be okay. It could be okay. If it's removal in hand. Let's take the 3. Let's take the 3, yeah. We're just gonna block the 1/1 over here. And I'll drop the seat on the Adeline. I didn't wait too long, did I? Why does it feel like I waited too long? I'm scared. It's gonna pass back to me, right? Gonna remove the Circle of Confinement. What are they gonna grab here? Well, either way, I'm gonna do this now before I run out of time. The Adeline has to go. And they're tapped out now too, so I have full control on. So Brutal Cathar. Right. Probably the 3/3 Kami of Transience, but the double Naturalist is pretty scary for them guys. Like this life gain. Oh, Hallowed Haunting. Holy cow. Oh, the Moonrage Brute's pretty scary. Dude. The Hallowed Haunting's such a good draw, but now we need to continue to draw. Now we need to keep drawing more enchantments, and then Hallowed Haunting could run away with this. But yeah, kind of fizzled out here. Our main source of like drawing cards is like Wedding Announcement, which isn't the greatest way to draw cards. I'm trying to think if there's any other ways for us. Oh, couple Guardians. Ooh, that's gross. Okay, they're gonna grab Kami of Transience, right? A Toad Rider. Yeah, it's not an enchantment, but it's a good grab. If we find removal for that Brutal Cathar, we're in this. If we find more enchantments, we're in this. Like, there are so many ways for us to be in this, but we kind of just ran out of cards, unfortunately, which is definitely something to talk about in the final thoughts here. Are there other great ways for enchantments to draw? Oh, Sarah Paragon, no. No. Oh, no, Adeline, next turn. We need to see removal off the top, guys. Oh, why do I feel like it's just going to be a land? I'll swing with Guardian. They have 1 plains. They could easily give this Indestructible. Let's just take the 4, and I think, depending on our draw, I think it's the opponent's. I think we want to keep everything just in case. Oh my goodness, guys, a second Hallowed Haunting. That literally means if we continue to draw enchantments, then we're still in this somehow. Dude, oh man. We're just taking so much damage though. So we have the chump blockers for the Guardians now. That's good news. It's not going to switch to nighttime yet. Yeah, if we see removal off the top. All right, I'm sticking this one out, guys. Then again, we need 7 or more enchantments on the board to give them flying. So, oh man, okay. I wonder, is the Sarah Paragon has flying over there too, so they get to recast Adeline here as well. Oh, they're just gonna play the 1 out of their hand though. Huh. Well, now they can't give Guardian Indestructible. Swing with Sarah Paragon? That makes sense to me because, yeah, we're on a clock, and if we don't find what we need, what do we even hit then? If we find removal, we'd probably hit Brutal Cathar to get our Kami of Transience back. But okay, we can't block in the air with Toad Rider, correct? Yeah. Target frog you control can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with flying or reach. So yeah, you can't activate this ability and then leap in the air to block like a Sarah Paragon. That would be really cool though. All right, no cards in hand. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go you. And we're gonna go, yeah, not being able to give flying from the Hallowed Haunting for at least a couple turns is pretty scary. Gaining life on the legendary frog could go a long way. I think I'm gonna trade. I'm sorry, opponent. Trying to think what the best trade for me is, because this gains us life too, so we're gonna gain 4 here and the Guardian's out of here. The problem is losing an enchantment on the board, and so I was thinking, like, would it be better for this? Because that goes down to 4 now, but yeah, if we have to wait a couple turns to give everything flying anyways, then... So they're gonna recast it with the Serra Paragon, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, Serra Paragon doing a ton of stuff. Okay, we found an enchantment. Guys, are we still in this? Clawing Torment. What do we even hit, though? This Adeline's a big, big problem. Swinging in with Toad, too. Like, we could take out the Thalia. I guess making the Serra Paragon weaker in the air is the best bet, because we're having chump blockers on the ground. That's really funny, guys. I can't believe we're still in this right now. Yeah, we could swing in the air for 6. Do we have enough blockers on the ground? Yeah, I'm sorry, opponent. I'm taking forever right now. You know what? Even if we don't have enough blockers on the ground, it's probably still worth swinging with at least one of them. Getting him down to 9, getting him down to 8. Depends what we draw. We're at 10, we're taking 2 in the air, we are forced to block. Yeah, whatever, let's do it, let's do it. The game's taking too long, and I'm taking too long to decide, so... We got to fly in with our Toad Riders, or leap in, I should say. They already have Adeline on the board. I guess if they get like a buff to buff their wide board state off the top, even then, keeping these 2 back wouldn't have even been worth it, probably, right? Because at that point, we'd be blocking with everything. Okay, so Adeline, Guardian, Guardian, yep. So probably enlist both Guardians. Yeah, this is still... Are they not going to swing with Serra? They want to block with it, I suppose. No, it can't block. What am I saying? Clawing Torment. I guess they can enlist with it if they wanted to. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to not attack with the Serra since it can't block. Like, what's the reason there, you know? Alright, so we're going to start by blocking the 1/1. We're forced to chump the Adeline. We don't know what's in hand, guys, so if we take 8 damage here, it could be bad. Could be pretty bad. But I think this is fine. I think this is okay. Road Captain has Menace, too. Let's take the 8 damage. Let's do it. We're gaining 2 from the Naturalist block. We have 6 in the air from Toad Rider. They can't block with Serra, and I'm questioning if they'd know that. Yeah, because they're keeping this back. I mean, you don't see Clawing Torment every day, so... Almost never see it. An extra blocker on the ground. Okay, yeah, depending on what we see here, guys. Like, this has been a crazy game. Okay, we have 6 in the air. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers on the ground. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we have 1, 2. Yeah, 3, 4 that needs to get through on the ground. Oh, but Menace. Target Frog, right? And then we full swing. I hope I'm not missing something here. They can't block the frogs. 6 damage. And Road Captain's going to get through. They don't have life gain on any of the cards that they're blocking with. Clawing Torment will get an extra damage as well. See, Road Captain has the Menace, so... So 2's going to get through. Yeah, I think this is it, guys. This is 6 damage. Oh, plus 2, so yeah, 8. I think we got there. Did the Toad Rider carry us through this game? It sure did, guys. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, and they were going to take an extra damage. Dude, I'm glad I stuck that one out, but I'm questioning if I even deserved it. The Clawing Torment was going to do an extra damage as well. We got pretty lucky not seeing land here. The Kami of Transience was a pretty bad draw that turn, but we just so happened to have the attack we needed there. because they couldn't block with the Sarah Paragon. Wow, that was pretty awesome, guys. 60% total win rate over here in ranked, which is awesome. Let's go. Hey, I'm going to say it right now before we go over the deck. If you guys made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, honestly. Yeah, here's the deck list again, guys, and I am very satisfied. Oh, buddy, Toad Rider put in some work today, huh? It might be worth 2 of them. You could drop a Curse of Leeches and go up a Toad Rider if you wanted to. Here's a reason not to. We were sweating that last game. We were like, oh man, we need to see only enchantments off the top. And that's going to be the case a lot of times where you really, really want to see those enchantments so you can play them out and get benefits from the Hallowed Haunting, benefits from the Toad Rider, right? And the Frog as well, getting benefits when you play enchantments. Kami of Transience, getting benefits when you cast enchantments as well. So you really want to see those enchantments, but it still might be worth dropping the curse and going up a Toad Rider. It might be. I'm not 100% though. Candletrap was cool. Clawing Torment was really cool. Okiba Reckoner raid. We talked about it the last time we played it. It's underrated and it's really good. Circle of Confinement was great. Borrowed Time was cool. Reign of Truth was good. Kami of Transience and Jukai Naturalist are naturally broken, right? Very powerful. Did we see wedding announcement today? I guess we didn't? Question mark? Or no, wait, I forget. I forget, guys. So I'll have to go back and check the matches. But I mean, if we did see it, I'm assuming it did a thing. Thran Portal was all right. Yeah, it's doing damage to you, but when you have this much life gain, I think it's better to be able to fix your mana base. So I think this was worth it, actually. Obviously, the utility lands were worth it here because we don't have anything in the deck that cares about, like, basic land types and whatnot. So, like, Seed of the Empire really, really came in hand taking out that Adeline. Even though they had the Sarah Paragon and they could have brought their own Adeline back anyways, still was worth it. It stopped a pretty powerful swing there. So, Hallowed Haunting is sweet, a perfect top end for this style of build. Yeah, guys, I really liked this one, and thank you again for being here at the end of the video. Like I said, y'all are champions, and I will see you in the next video.